right, Shalom. First and foremost, all praises, honor, and glory be unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Quadash, which is the Paleo-Hebrew for the name of the Heavenly Father being Yahweh, and the name of the Son being Yahushai. All right, the only names in which salvation could be obtained, whether you can receive it or not. We give double honors to the elders and the apostles at GMS Great Millstone, who, through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, are the elders and the apostles of all of Israel today. All right, whether you can receive that or not. And peace, love, blessings, and salutations be unto the elect who are pushing this truth in sincerity and in charity and in faith and striving, man. Striving in this thing for the long haul. Striving to endure, man. Striving to continue, all right? To continue in this work, man. Not turning back and, you know, we're gonna just go ahead and get into it. Go ahead, bro.
This is out of the book, 2 Peter 2:20. For if after they have escaped the pollutions of the world,
right, man. When you come into this thing, you're putting off that old man. Right, you're putting off the person that you once were, man. You're becoming dead to the world. Okay, you're escaping the pollutions of the world. Grab Micah 2:10, brother. So it said, though if he hath escaped the pollutions of this world. Now let's concentrate on this word pollutions, man, because this whole world is polluted, destroyed, decayed, and completely filled with wickedness, man, that Esau has spread. Okay, so when we come into this thing, like I said, man, you're taking on that being reborn again. Okay, being just casting all that condition off that we've been brought up in this world. All right, and completely being renewed, man. Not in your emotions any longer, because a lot of us were brought up in emotions and so on and so forth, man. And that's why we always need to use a righteous discernment when dealing with anything, man. Use reason. How would Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai handle this, man? How would the law instruct me to handle this situation? Because we're being prepared to be kings, man. We're not being prepared for anything other than that, man. We're being prepared for crowns and to reign. All right, to be righteous kings and not little children in a throne.
That's why it breaks down to it being an instruction. Basically our survival book. It says, this is Micah 2:10, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest.
Right, and that's what we do, man. So, this is speaking to the Israel as a whole, but the elect, well, those that are called will hear it, okay? And so they're going to arise and depart, but the elect will continue and endure no matter what happens, man. There ain't nothing you can say or do that will not make the elect, okay? But for those, just like the scripture says, many are called but few are chosen. They're going to be called. They're going to depart. But then that they might start slipping up, man. They might start stumbling. That's why we got to make sure that we tighten up every chance we get. Go ahead, brother.
Because it is polluted.
Right there you go, man. It is polluted. What did 2 Peter 2:20 say? That we've escaped the pollutions of this world. Okay, because it is polluted. Go ahead.
It shall destroy you even with a sword destruction.
Right, it'll destroy you with the sword destruction, man. That's all you see here. Like we were telling the dude at camp yesterday, man, talking about black culture brought us all this different stuff, man. Black culture brought us nothing but death, man. All right, though it is polluted, it will destroy you. That's the same with so-called Latin culture. That's the same with so-called Native American culture, man. Our true culture lies in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, man. Our true culture is within the 12 tribes of Israel, which is who we are, man. All right.
What is the biggest thing that Jake does, man? They look at each other with like if they're enemies, man. Like the brother was talking about black cultures or you so-called Mexicans or even Gad, man. Mm-hmm. I've met a couple of Gadites that thought they were better than you so-called Negroes or the so-called Latinos, man.
Yeah, Jake gets real prideful, man. And that's why, like that dude was trying to sow derision, man, through the spirit. We all come into one body, man. We all came on one thing, even though we came from all different walks of life, man. Go ahead and jump back into
this is 2 Peter 2:20. For if after they have escaped the pollutions of the world through the knowledge of the Most High, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai.
Right, through the knowledge of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, man. That's how you escape those pollutions, okay? To those that are called. Go ahead.
And Savior, Yahushai, Mashiach, they are again entangled therein and overcome.
Right, you're entangled therein, man. You got sucked back into the world. All right, and sometimes this thing will slowly happen. You'll start doing this, you'll start doing that. Next thing you know, man, you do a complete 180. Go ahead, Ak.
The later end is worse with them than the beginning.
Man, I mean, you were out there pushing hard, man, for who knows how long. Could have been a year, could have been a month, could have been 20 years. All right, but all of that went to naught. I mean, for you personally, there's no personal gain for you, man, because you're not going to achieve the crown, and your latter end is going to be even worse than if you would have just went around and partied and bullshit the whole time anay, man.
If I might say too, that there's a lot of things in this world, like roughly paraphrasing what the scripture was saying, it pollutes you, man. And a big one is like drugs, man. You got some people that are that they say it's a addiction, and what is some people do? Some people realize that and they try to get themselves out of it, but through that. Through all that work and trying to, some are able to get through it, not on their own willpower, but through Yahweh Shem Yahushai bringing them out of that. But then there's some that might be trying to get out of it, but end up relapsing and going back into it again, and it's even worse for them.
Yep.
Just trying to bring I guess analogy to the point,
Yep. Yahweh Shai is the Redeemer, man.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really the way out of those things, because a lot of us were hooked on drugs, man. I know I was doing some shit that I shouldn't have been doing, and this Yahweh Shem Yahushai brought me out of that, man. And some people marvel at it. They're like, what? Other people that were into similar things. How did you just stop doing it? Because it ain't like I went to no class.
Right.
You know what I mean, man? I just gave my life to Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and he was calling, and I heard it, man. And Lord willing, I'll endure and not be this dude that we're reading about. Go ahead,
For it had been better for them not to have known the way of righteousness.
Right. It would have been better for them not even to have known the truth, man. Go ahead,
Then after they have known it, to turn from the holy commandment delivered unto them, but it is
right to turn from the holy commandment that was delivered to us. We start receiving these last statutes, commandments. You start going off and start to dig yourself a bigger and bigger pit. Next thing you're doing this, next thing you're doing that, next thing you start doing unforgivable things, man. All right, go ahead.
But it is happened unto them.
So this goes back to a prophecy. A particular prophecy has happened to them. So this is something that's going to happen, man. We're going to see this happening, and we just got to strive that that this will not be us, man, because it has to happen to somebody. Somebody's going to have to fit this prophecy, man. Go ahead, up.
Them, according to the true proverb, the dog is turned to his own vomit again.
Right. So when you see a dog throw up and he goes back and eats it, that's basically when you come out of the world and then you go back in, you're returning right back to the vomit being the world, and the dog being you. Go ahead.
And the soul that was washed to her wallowing in the myrrh.
Yeah, I mean, you just went and took a bath, which goes back into that spiritual baptism, that water baptism. That was an actual thing that would happen from time to time, which was symbolic for them being washed, them being cleansed. Okay, now that after you've been washed, then you go run around and you're playing in the mire, and that word mire goes back to the word shit. So you're messing around, rolling around in feces, man. That's what this world is, man. Shit and feces. All right, and that's what you're messing around in. That's why James 4:4 says that friendship with the world is enmity against Yahweh, and any man who is a friend with the world is his enemy. Okay. So Yahweh Shai, man, he ain't coming back second time to be crucified for you fence riders, man. He ain't coming back a second time for you to continually get right, or whatever the case might be. This is you got that, brother?
What?
Oh, I thought you were grabbing a set. This is Hebrews chapter 10 and verse, let's see, we'll start at verse 22. It says, let us draw near with a true heart in full assurance of faith, having our hearts sprinkled from an evil conscience and our bodies washed with pure water, right? So our hearts sprinkled from that evil conscience. And that evil conscience is our own wickedness, man. What do the scriptures say? Give me any wickedness but the wickedness of a woman, and any plague but the plague of a heart, man. Because that's a plague to have, acting upon your emotions. Like I said, man, taking off the condition that conditioner that we've had put upon us, man. There's a veil right now upon the 12 tribes of Israel, man, and that veil is only going to be lifted off of the elect. Okay, nothing happens for no reason, man. Everything happens, and these different people that come up to the camp, and you know they get offended at the words of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and you know they come up and they act a particular way. That was never their motive, man. That was never their motive, to scoff or to get with him, because at the end of the day, you know, the elect, the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai is always dealing with the elect, man, and they're gonna receive it, and they're gonna act a particular way when they hear this truth, because that spirit's supping with them. Now, as far as the 2/3, man, they have Shaitan supping with them, man. So they're going to come up and they're going to act a particular way in order for them to be condemned, right? Because he's just doing his job, man.
Like seeing the old dude at Camp West yesterday. Mm-hmm. This dude, the brother just asked him a question, be like, "Hey, do you have any questions?" And dude got offended real quick, man. And he's like, "Oh." He's like, I guess you don't want me to hear it, or something like that. But then he stormed off all mad, you know. And all the brother did was just ask him a question, like if he had any questions. And you know, obviously this, you know, it wasn't meant for him, man.
This is going on verse 23, and ultimately because Esau has you know, continued to do what he can to keep you in that with that veil over you, man. But, you know, like I said, man, Esau is in his order, man. Shaitan is in his order. All right, both that spiritual demon and Esau, man. They're in their order, which is to be the wicked, which is to cause us to go astray, man. Because the 2/3 got to die. So in them doing that, it's fulfilling the prophecy of the 2/3. It's fulfilling the prophecy of themselves, and it's going to cast the vengeance on themselves. So you see, everything works in a perfect order, man. An unjust balance is an abomination to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. This is verse 23, let us hold fast the profession of our faith, right? This is our profession, man. Like I was telling the brother the other day, I was like, man, I had never tried at anything in life. The only thing I've tried at is this truth right here, man. And this is probably my best skill. Out of all the different skills I got, man, this is my top one, and it's because I've tried at it, man. I've tried to what did it say? It says, let us hold fast our profession of our faith without wavering. And wavering means like asking a second, oh wow, I don't really know, I'm not sure. Well, going back into the book of James, it says that he that wavereth is like a you know, a wave of the water or something to that effect. So all these, they're just going crazy and flying all over the place, throwing ships all over. One moment they're here, one moment they're there. One moment they're talking about flat Earth. One moment they're talking about the Earth looks like a pillar. Who knows, man? So, you know, you gotta hold fast our profession without wavering. This should be your number one skill, man. This should be your profession. Okay? And I'm not talking it up like I'm some kind of something, man, because the scripture tells you it's a light thing to raise the tabernacles of David, man. I'm just trying to, you know, set an analogy, or you know, I love setting examples, man. I love using examples. I love setting examples, and you know, me personally, that's one of the ways that I grow.
Try to hold that what is it, standard?
Yep. Just as the elders, man, just as Yahushai, all right, just as the prophets of old. It says, for he is faithful that promised, and let us consider one another to provoke unto love and to good works, right, man? Talking about this body, man, unto love of the body, love of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and of good works, man, of pushing this truth, man. If you're not doing that, then you know, go do whatever the hell you want, man. Go join IUIC and hand out flyers, or you know, whatever the case might be. This is verse 25. Not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together, right, man? Coming together with the brotherhood, all right, talking to brothers, speaking with brothers. This says, as the manner of some is, but exhorting one another, and so much more as ye see the day approaching. And we see the day approaching, man. So, you know, we got to tighten up more and more, man. There's nothing to marvel at this order that Apostle Tahar gave out, because it's time to tighten up. It ain't time to expand your fingertips and be spread throughout the map, spread thin. It's time to tighten up, man. It's time. It ain't time for this. It's time for this, man. Let me know if you got any steps, bro. This is verse 26. It says, "For if we sin willfully, after that we have received the knowledge of the truth, there remaineth no more sacrifice for sins." Right. So if you go back into this world, man, there ain't gonna be another Messiah that comes and dies for you, man. There ain't gonna be another Messiah to come and have his blood cover you up, man. You're through. All right. Verse 27, it says, "But a certain merciful, a certain fearful, looking for of judgment and fiery indignation, which shall devour the adversaries," right, being Yahushai. "He that despised Moses' law died without mercy under 2 or 3 witnesses," right? So going back into the Old Testament, if you were following that Moses' law, you would die under 2 or 3 witnesses, man, without mercy. Okay? So going into verse 29, "Of how much sorer punishment suppose ye," so how much more of a punishment do you think, "shall he be thought worthy," so should you be worthy of, "who hath trodden underfoot the Son of Yahweh," right? Who hath trodden underfoot Yahushai. Because Yahushai came and did that sacrifice, and you're taking it for granted. You're taking it for granted, man. You say you're slapping him in the face, man. And it actually goes a little bit deeper than slapping in the face. It says, "And hath," oh yeah, I read it, man. You're not just slapping him in the face, you're trotting him underfoot. So what did it say? Let me finish this verse real quick, but this is Salaki. It says "who hath trodden underfoot the Son of Yahweh, and hath counted the blood of the covenant wherewith he was sanctified an unholy thing." So you're counting that blood of Yahushai an unholy thing by turning back, man. It says, "and hath done despite unto the Spirit of grace." You despise the Spirit of grace. The Spirit of grace is here for you to get right, not to act like a nigga. Go ahead, brother.
Got this out of 3 John 1 and 2. "Beloved, I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in health, even thy soul prospereth." So, you know, like the brother was saying, you know, somebody has to fit that prophecy, but you know, towards the end of the day, you know, this is truly for the beloved ones, being of the elect, man.
Yep.
And the elect are gonna strive for that perfection, man. For I rejoiced greatly when the brethren came and testified of the truth, that it is thee, even as thou walkest in the truth. I have no greater joy than to hear that my son walk in truth, man.
Right. Go ahead, brother.
So you know, it's a beautiful thing to the Most High to know that well, we striving and pushing the glory of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua on every high roof, man.
Yep.
You know, like the brother was saying, you know, we go out on the highways and byways hoping that we be part of that number, but just to hold that standard up, man. You know, pave that highway, man, for the elect and for the Yahweh Bashem Yahushua's return, man.
Con, it's like one of the brothers had made an analogy the other day, man. He was telling me, he said, Yahushua is the cook. All right, the elect, or us, Lord willing, we're part of that number. All right, the 144,000 are the servers to serve the meal, and the 1/3 are the receivers of that meal. All right, so you know, we got to make sure we're doing our part, man, because there's people that are looking forward to seeing these videos to be able to grow and learn. All right, who are potential members of the elect, and you know, us as you know, us as part of this body, man, we got to hold ourselves accountable, man. We got to hold ourselves accountable and ask if we're not doing enough, and always seek growth, man. Because if you don't grow, then you're just gonna plateau, and you just become complacent, man.
Towards the end of the day, what value are you, man? We just got out of this meeting and work, man, and the dude made it. Sometimes when things are through the spirit, things are said, but through time to time, always come back to this the scriptures, this truth, man. But it's true, man. If you don't have any value in you to keep that standard and grow, like the brother was saying, what value are you to the Most High, man?
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's
what value are you to the elect?
I gotta get a quick precept on that. This is the book of Matthew. Just give me 1 second here. Chapter 5, I believe, is where I'm going. Yeah, chapter 5. Chapter 5 and verse 13. Ye are the salt of the earth. So the Israelites, man, the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American, all right, who come out of those names, come out of those bywords, and come into calling themselves Israelites, man, we're the salt of the earth, man. Okay? It says, but if the salt have lost its savor, so if the salt lost its taste, which is all that salt is used for, wherewith shall it be salted? What are you going to use it for, man? If the salt lost its, and really this goes to the whole 12 tribes of Israel, man. Even if they're in the world or whatever, man, they're the salt of the earth. But the 2/3 have lost its flavor, man. And those coming into this thing, man, they obtain that flavor, and then it just waxes old. It loses the flavor again. So let's see. It says, it is henceforth good for nothing, right? So just like the brother said, if you had no value, you ain't good. Most High can't use you, man. You're good for nothing because you ain't seeking growth, and you're just trying to be continue in the world or whatever. It says
going with the flow, nigga.
Yeah. It says to be cast out and to be trodden underfoot of men. That's the best thing you can do with some saltless salt. Throw it out and trot it underfoot. All right, but this is going back into the book of Hebrews, chapter 10, and now verse 30. It says, for we know him that has said, vengeance belongeth unto me. Right? But vengeance belongeth to Yahweh, because what did the last verse say? That if you go back into this world, man, then you've despised the spirit of grace, and you've trodden the sacrifice of Yahweh Shai under your foot. And just like the brother grabbed at a 2 Peter's, you're the dog that returned to its vomit. You're in a worse place than you would have been to begin with, man. Because to break down what grace is, all right, it's basically a period of time for you to get right. That's why if you can't pay your rent or you can't pay some kind of bill, they might give you, if they're merciful, which most times they aren't, they'll give you a grace period. Say, hey, you got 2 weeks to pay your rent, and if you don't have it paid in full by those 2 weeks, then we're coming after you without mercy, man. You're getting kicked out on the streets or whatever. And so that's what we have. We have that grace period. You got that time to get right. But at the end of the day, man, the doors are closing. Like I said, it's nothing to marvel at this decree that Apostle Tahar put out, man. All right, because the gates are closing. All right, but once this grace period's up, then you're through, man. And to you who come into this thing and then leave, you're despising that grace period. So that's why verse 30 starts off by saying, for we know him that has said, vengeance belongeth unto me, man. Yahweh is going to get some vengeance on your wicked ass, man. It says, I will recompense, saith Yahweh, and again, the Yahweh shall judge his people, man. What does the scripture say? Judgment shall begin with the house of Israel. What does it say in the book of Zechariah? That he takes a candle and he's seeking out Israel. So we're being watched, man. We're being sook out to see what it is that we're doing, and to make sure that we're putting this truth up, man. It says verse 31, it is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. That's right, man, because Yahweh knows fears about you that you do not know. Grab Philippians 2 and 12, Baba Kasha, brother. All right, he knows fears about you that he knows your deepest, darkest fears, man. All right, and sometimes our biggest enemies in order to grow is ourselves. That's why they have that movie Us. All right, they've had a lot of these movies where the biggest battle to fight is your own self. And it's actually, I haven't watched it personally, but I've seen the preview. We get the gist of what it's about, man. It's their own demons that are terrorizing them, and only the elect are going to be able to conquer these demons, man. So we got to push, man. We got to push. We got to fight. We got to look in the mirror and beat our bodies into subjection, man. Just like the scriptures say.
2 and 12.
Con.
This is out of the book Philippians 2 and 12. It says, "Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but..."
Right. So and this is something we got to get right too, man. You've been acting like a nigga all day long, and then right when you come around, brother, oh, that's right, brother. Yup, con. You be that con nigga down the street. Con. Yeah, but you've been being a nigga all week. Go ahead, brother.
"But now, much more in my absence, work out your own salvation."
That's right,
with fear
man.
And trembling.
He said, much more in my absence, you better be working out your own salvation in fear and trembling, man. Fear of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Trembling in your fear of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Because what did it say? It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of living power.
Because you gotta think about it too. If the Most High woke you up to this, and called you to this, He could easily take it away from you.
Yep, that's right, man. And we don't have nothing to do or say about it, man. You can't go against the will of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, and that's why the scriptures tell you it's not to he that willeth or to him that runneth, but it's up to Yahweh to give whoever he wants to receive that prize, man. All right. So we gotta really self-reflect, man. All right. Brothers like to get on their best behaviors when they're around particular brothers or around camp or when an elder comes through. We just got to make sure that's the behavior we keep as much as we can, man. I mean, you're gonna go. There's gonna be times where you go off. There's gonna be times where you have a bad thought or whatever the case might be. But we need to be striving, just like it said, with fear and trembling. All right. Going on, verse 32. "But call to remembrance the former days," right? The days of old, past days, "in which after ye were illuminated," right? Illuminated. We are the illuminated ones, man. We are the true Illuminati because we have this truth, man. We have the light. This is the valley of the shadow of death in which we walk, man. We got a light so we can see. There's a light so the blind could see, man. All right. So remember those former days in which you were illuminated, because everybody, when they come into this thing, man, they're hot. They're ready to run up and down the street, man. Go, just go run up to the White House and knock on the door and start screaming, breaking out around some prophecies. All right, but I mean, you gotta use righteous discernment and and what have you. But I'm just using that point to show, man. You get in this thing, you get real hot, man. And so this is speaking to the particular brothers that are having a hard time, man. Which are a lot of us, man. We all have our hardships, man. You're gonna hit highs, you're gonna hit lows, man. It's constantly a wave. It's constantly a battle. You're never gonna win until we receive that crown, man. All right, you're gonna have some wins, you're gonna have some losses, man. But you gotta continually get up, and you gotta remember these former days in which you were illuminated, and keep that heat turned all the way up on high, man. You gotta keep that shit boiling, man. Just like when you make some tea, you turn that shit boiling. Next thing it starts screaming, man. We're screaming to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. The moment you turn that down, you stop screaming. Who's gonna be listening to you, man? Ain't nobody's gonna know that the tea's done. It says, "in which you were illuminated, ye endured a great fight of afflictions." Right, you endured for a time. You were enduring all these different things were coming your way, and you were making it through it, man. Up 33. "Partly whilst ye were made a gazing stock, both by reproaches and afflictions." Right, you were made a gazing. I mean, brothers, people in the world looking at you like, oh man, he's catching it, and you were enduring through it, man. All right, just like the scripture says, "What son is he who his father chastiseth not," man. All right, when you come into this thing, you're gonna be chastised. You're gonna be tried, man. We're getting that the conditioner off, so we could be in perfection, man. Which is a very painful, hard, and afflicting process. It says, "and partly whilst ye became companions of them that were so used, for ye had compassion of me in my bonds." Right? Speaking of Paul, in his bonds, brothers, you've been arrested, man. It says, "and took joyfully the spoiling of your goods, knowing in yourselves that ye have in heaven a better and an everlasting enduring substance. Man, that's where our riches are. It's not here in the world. It's not here. You're not going to try to make some kind of dollar off of a brother, man. You're not supposed to not going to be trying to get into that stuff, because we know where our riches lie, man. Verse 35, cast not away therefore your confidence, right? Hold on to your confidence, man. Brothers, remember the former days, man. Hold on to your confidence. Remember the kingdom of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. All right, remember what we're doing this for. Remember why you came into this, man. All right, don't let your confidence go away, because we're gonna have some hardships, man. We're gonna have hard times. We're gonna have lows, like I said. All right, you might feel bad. You might feel like you don't deserve to be pushing that truth, man. That's a goddamn demon on you, man. All right, you better hold on to your confidence, man. Don't cast it away. Don't give it to Satan. It says, which hath great recompense of reward, for ye have need of patience, that shall, after ye have done the will of Yahweh, ye might receive the promise. Right, we might receive the promise after we had with patience done the will of Yahweh, man. So this ain't no walk in the park, man. This ain't no easy thing. Verse 37, and you brothers got to realize, man, out of all these different, it says the 1/3 is innumerable, right? So how much more the 2/3? Out of all these people, man, you made the cut. You've been picked to the roster. So you better be fighting, man. You better be making some wins. You better be enduring through the lows. All right, got some, brother?
This is 2nd Ezra 6:25. Whosoever remaineth for all these that I have told thee shall escape, and see my salvation, and the end of your world. And the men that are received shall see it, who have not tasted death from their birth, and the heart, speaking of the elect, and the heart of the inhabitants shall change and turned into another meaning. For evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched. As for faith, it shall flourish. Corruption shall be overcome, and truth, which hath been so long without fruit, shall be declared. That's not it right there, but just believe, man. Like the brother was talking about, put on that confidence in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, whatever you may be going through. Just have that confidence, and that the Most High will get you through it, man. And just truly believe, man. Truly believe that that whatever the Most High may put you through, that you'll get through it, man.
Yep. Yeah. What does the scripture say? That he'll never tempt any man above that which he cannot handle.
It's just like if you went to go jump a ledge, man. That second thought of hesitancy will cause your downfall, man. So you gotta, for you to jump over that ledge, man, you gotta jump with believe that you can be able to jump it.
Hey, man, 100% of fights, the winner already won before it started within his mind, man, and the loser already lost before it started within his mind.
This is out of Luke 21:36. Watch ye therefore. Just watch. Watch for these the sign of the times, man. Watch yourself, man. It says, and pray always that ye may be accompted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man.
Right, counted worthy, man. Look in the mirror, man. Check yourself before you wreck yourself, as they say. Going on Hebrews For yet a little while, and he shall come and will not tarry. Right, being Yahweh Shai, man. Pretty soon that grace period is up, man. Those gates are closing. It's time for brothers to tighten up, man. It says, now the just shall live by faith, but if any man draw back, my soul shall have not pleasure in him. So if you draw back from this thing, man, the soul of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is going to have no pleasure in you. You're the salt that lost its savor. You're the dog that returned to its own vomit. All right, the nigga that jumped back into the poop pile. All right, and what did it say? The just shall live by faith, man. We live by faith, man. We truly believe, and just like we just said, man, 100% of fights are lost before they start for the loser, and won before they start for the winner, man. And hey, man, we truly believe in this thing, man. So you gotta believe that you're gonna win. Verse 39. But we are not of them who draw back unto perdition, but of them that believe to the saving of the soul. So we ain't of these individuals that are drawn back, man. And Lord willing, that never be the case. And you got to truly believe that is the case, man. All right, this is what time we're at, man. All right, grow or plateau. You ain't growing, you're gonna plateau and you're gonna fall. All right, so you got to continue to seek growth, man. Continue to strive for the crown of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Continue to push, continue to teach, continue to exhort. All right, just continue, man. You got anything else you want to bring out, brother? And then that's just the moral of the story, man. The moral of the sit down. All right, to continue and to strive, man. Even if you're taking little baby steps, man, inching your way up, you're still going up. All right, you gotta tighten up as we see this day is drawing near, man. And Lord willing, this will be edifying for whoever will watch it, man. Because I know that brothers go through things, man. Brothers go through things all over, throughout all the different camps, man. All right, so we put forth these exhortations to try to strengthen one another, man. All right, because what the scripture that the brother grabbed begin by saying, my beloved. All right, man, we truly have love for this body, man. We truly have love for the brotherhood of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. All right, but at the end of the day, man, we're gonna do what we do, and the elect are the elect, no matter what we say, man. All right. But with that, you want anything else you want to add, brother? Con. We'll say call Allah Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai.
Call Allah Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai.
And brothers, endure, keep your heads up, and just continue to strengthen yourselves, man. Grow or plateau, and acknowledge your demons, man. Acknowledge yourself and look in the mirror. See where you could grow to continue in the Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, man. Shalom. And all praises, honor, and glory be unto Yahweh,
Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakak, Madash.
Shalom.
Shalom.